There's a special magic in deciding to travel alone. A quiet, thrilling sense that the world is opening just for you, and every step you take is entirely your own. It's a gentle promise of discovery and freedom, a whisper that anything is possible when you're guided only by your own curiosity. For me, that promise led to France, wandering Parisian streets at sunrise, breathing in the scent of lavender fields in Provence, and savoring the joyful clink of bistro glasses as strangers became friends over a shared meal. Planning was its own adventure. Late nights spent with a map spread out before me, tracing routes from Paris to Lyon to the sun-drenched Côte d'Azur, imagining the stories I'd collect along the way. The thrill wasn't just about seeing new places, but about meeting a new, braver version of myself, one who could navigate unfamiliar streets and find joy in her own company. People asked, "Aren't you scared to go alone?" Of course, a little. There were nerves and moments of doubt, but those feelings were always outshined by anticipation. The excitement of possibility far outweighed any fear. Every train ride, every sunrise felt like a new beginning. Independence meant I could spend an entire day wandering the halls of a museum, lost in art and history, or hop a train to a town I'd never heard of, just because it sounded beautiful. No compromises, just pure exploration, guided by my own curiosity and the freedom to change plans on a whim. With my suitcase packed and my heart full of dreams, I was ready to dive in, knowing that every moment would be my own. Like standing at the edge of a clear lake, I knew the first plunge might be cold, a little uncertain, but the experience would be worth it, refreshing, exhilarating, and unforgettable. This was a leap of faith into a world where the only person I had to answer to was myself, and every choice was mine alone. And that truly is the most wonderful freedom of all, the freedom to write your own story, one adventure at a time. Arriving in Paris alone is unforgettable. The city embraces you with its energy and beauty. There's a sense of anticipation in the air, a feeling that anything is possible when you step into the city on your own. The hum of the train station, the distant sound of street musicians, and the first glimpse of the Eiffel Tower all combine to create a sense of wonder and excitement that's uniquely yours. My first morning, I wandered along the Seine, pausing whenever I wished, letting Paris set my pace. The gentle flow of the river mirrored my own unhurried steps, and I realized how freeing it was to have no agenda but my own curiosity. I admired the Mona Lisa, found peace in Notre Dame, and marveled at the centuries of history that surrounded me. Each landmark felt more personal, as if the city was sharing its secrets just with me. But the real magic was in getting lost in Le Marais, where every corner revealed a new café, a hidden courtyard, or a burst of street art. Wandering aimlessly, I discovered the city's playful side and felt a sense of belonging among its winding streets. Or sitting quietly in the Jardin de Luxembourg, surrounded by locals reading, children playing, and the soft rustle of leaves. These peaceful moments allowed me to slow down and truly absorb the city's atmosphere. These moments made Paris feel like my own secret discovery, a place where I could be both an explorer and a dreamer. Evenings were pure magic, a simple dinner at a bistro, a glass of wine, and the city lights twinkling outside the window. I learned to savor each bite, each sip, and each moment of solitude. The hum of conversation around me became a comforting soundtrack, reminding me that I was part of the city's vibrant life, even as I sat alone. Dining alone, I noticed every detail, the aroma of fresh bread, the laughter from nearby tables, the way the candlelight flickered on the walls. The city's rhythm became my own, and I felt completely at ease. One night, a boat tour on the Seine revealed Paris aglow, reflected in the water, a romance with the city and with myself. The illuminated bridges and monuments seemed to celebrate my presence, making the night feel magical and intimate. Paris taught me that being alone isn't lonely. The city itself is a companion. Its streets, parks, and cafes welcomed me, encouraging me to embrace my independence. Every street and cafe invited me to pause, reflect, and simply be. I found joy in the little things, a perfect croissant, a friendly smile, the sound of rain on cobblestones. I learned to enjoy my own company, sketching the city's rooftops or capturing fleeting moments in my notebook, or writing in a notebook for hours, letting my thoughts wander as freely as my footsteps. Paris gave me space to breathe and confidence to explore. I felt a new sense of freedom, knowing I could shape my own adventure. It was the perfect start to my solo adventure, a journey that would shape how I saw the world and myself. I left with a deep appreciation for the beauty of exploring on my own terms and a heart full of memories that would last a lifetime. After Paris, I headed south to Lyon, the stomach of France, a city where every street corner seems to celebrate food and tradition. The city greeted me with the scent of traditional bouchons and the warmth of its old town, Vieux Lyon. My mission was simple: eat everything I could and savor every moment. Dining alone at communal tables, I tasted coq au vin and onion soup, sharing laughter and stories with locals and fellow travelers. Each meal felt like a celebration, a chance to connect over flavors that have been perfected for generations. Food broke barriers and created instant connections, turning strangers into friends with every shared dish and clink of glasses. At Les Halles Paul Bocuse, I wandered through the rows of vibrant stalls, sampling cheeses, pastries, and fresh produce. I assembled a picnic of local delights to enjoy by the Rhone, watching the city's life flow by. Lyon's markets were a feast for the senses, colorful, lively, and overflowing with the best of French gastronomy. The air buzzed with the sounds of vendors and the aroma of fresh bread and ripe fruit. Beyond food, I rode the funicular to the Basilica of Notre-Dame de Fourvière for panoramic city views, marveling at Lyon's blend of history and modern life. Lyon felt like a place to live, not just visit. Its neighborhoods were filled with locals enjoying café terraces, and every street seemed to invite you to linger a little longer. The city taught me that a country's soul is found in its flavors, and that a good meal can be as memorable as any monument. Watching chefs at work, I realized food here is an art form, deeply woven into daily life. My time in Lyon was a delicious, heartwarming chapter, one that filled both my stomach and my spirit. I left with a deeper understanding of French culture, one bite at a time, discovering that food is truly the language of Lyon. Lyon's warmth and generosity stayed with me, as did the memories of shared meals and new friendships. It was a city that truly welcomed the solo traveler, making me feel at home in every sense of the word. From Lyon, I journeyed south to Nice, where the Mediterranean sparkled and the colors dazzled. The Promenade des Anglais became my favorite stroll, the sea breeze and vibrant cityscape filling me with joy. Nice felt safe, relaxed, and easy to explore alone. Mornings began at the Cours Salea market, fruit pastries and flowers, enjoyed on my balcony as the city woke up. Afternoons were for wandering Vieux Nice, discovering shops and getting lost in its winding streets. I explored the city's art from the Musée Matisse in the hills to the Marc Chagall Museum, savoring each piece at my own pace. My favorite moments were simple: reading on the beach, watching sunsets from Castle Hill, feeling immense gratitude for my own company. Nice taught me to slow down and savor life's beauty. The city's art, food, and sea air were a balm for the soul. I learned the joy of being present alone, but never lonely. Nice was a celebration of simple pleasures. It was a place where I truly felt at peace. Leaving the coast, I ventured into Provence, a dreamscape of lavender fields, olive groves, and sun-baked villages. Renting a car, I drove winding roads scented with herbs, stopping wherever beauty called. The Valençol Plateau's endless lavender was breathtaking. In villages like Gordes and Roussillon, I wandered cobbled streets, admired ancient stone houses, and soaked in the slow pace of life. Cafés in village squares became my windows into local rhythms. Friendly faces and warm smiles greeted my attempts at French. A stay at a family-run bed and breakfast led to a shared meal and stories late into the night. Provence taught me the beauty of simplicity: sun-ripened tomatoes, cicadas, and ancient olive trees. It was a slower, contemplative part of my journey, filled with gratitude for quiet moments and unexpected connections. France's food and my solo journey was a feast for the senses. In Paris, I savored croissants from neighborhood bakeries and delicate macarons, small rituals of daily joy. Lyon's hearty dishes pushed me to try new flavors, from quenelles to rich salads, always shared in convivial bouchons. In Provence and Nice, the cuisine turned lighter. Soca on the street, salads bursting with Mediterranean vegetables, and grilled fish kissed by the sun. Markets became classrooms, and a cooking class in a Provençal village deepened my connection to local culture. Food was more than sustenance. It was a way to understand France's soul. Every meal, every market visit was a lesson in pleasure and tradition. I learned that sharing food, even with strangers, is a universal language. Preparing and enjoying a meal became one of life's greatest joys. My palate and my heart were forever changed. Solo travel in France is smooth with a bit of planning and common sense. I always shared my itinerary with someone back home for peace of mind. Staying safe meant being aware, keeping valuables secure, avoiding deserted areas at night, and learning a few key French phrases. France's train system made getting around easy. For the countryside, renting a car offered freedom. An international driving permit and a reliable GPS were essential. Most importantly, I trusted my instincts, leaving situations that felt off and embracing those that felt right. A smile and a friendly bonjour opened doors everywhere. With simple precautions, I felt secure and free to enjoy every moment. Solo travel isn't lonely. It's an invitation for connection. I chose guest houses and B&Bs, where hosts and fellow travelers became instant friends. Walking tours and cooking classes led to shared meals and laughter. Even a comment at a communal table sparked conversations and new friendships. Fleeting interactions, a chat in a park, a smile in a market, enriched my journey. Being open and unafraid to start a conversation made all the difference. I returned home with memories of people as vivid as the places. Each encounter added a unique thread to my French adventure. As my train left Nice, I felt bittersweet joy, sad to leave, grateful for every moment. My solo journey was more than a holiday. It was a pilgrimage to independence. I discovered resilience, confidence, and the joy of my own company. Navigating France alone, I learned I could thrive, not just survive. The memories, croissants in Paris, laughter in Lyon, lavender in Provence, sunsets in Nice, became treasures etched in my soul. If you hear the call to adventure, listen. Take the leap. France is a wonderful companion for solo travelers, but any place can be, if you go with an open heart. My trip was a love story, with France, with adventure, and with myself. I promise to keep exploring, to keep saying yes to new journeys, and to France I promise one day I'll return.